Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Nicholas Lionrider, and welcome back to Roger Williams Park Zoo. So today, we are actually wrapping up Faces of the Rainforest. I know, everyone will be very, very sad by this news. It's the only series they cared about this whole time, and now it's already coming to a close. So I am joined, as the last two episodes have been, with Leaf, my buddy.
Oh my god, hello guys. I know, it's been so long.
I know, literally. I said we're doing weekly episodes now, and then now you won't leave me alone, so.
I know. I'm such a pain to you, I assume, right?
But today we are going to be going over basically the last few habitats that are in Faces of the Rainforest. So that includes the giant otter habitat as well as the tamandua / agoutis / toucan mini habitat. So all of those are going to be mods. So the giant otter's already in the game. The toucan will be a mod, and the tamandua and agouti are already mods. So, well, the agouti we have to publish, but yeah.
I still need to work on a little bit of the agouti, but it should be out.
It's
by
fine.
that time.
We'll be good. We'll be good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry. So, I don't know. How you been, Leaf?
I've been fine.
Since last week.
Yeah, literally. I guess we went to Roger Williams Zoo for the first time together.
That's true.
Crazy, right?
Went on another double date. We went to the Sip and Stroll. So I know we talked about it a little bit last time, but it was a very enjoyable experience.
Yeah, like honestly, one of the best events they've done. Like I honestly hated. No, I wouldn't say I hated the lanterns, but I know a lot of people didn't really like it. It really wasn't up to par with like what you would expect, at least.
That's true.
But this event was so good. They had so many like staff working, doing their best to make everything work.
Yeah.
It was such an enjoyable experience, and all the animals were out, so that was
great. True, yeah, because like that was my only gripe with both the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular they do in October, as well as the Asian Lantern Spectacular. Not to mention, I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't go to Holiday Lights last year, but I'm sure it's probably the same situation. Since the main point isn't the animals for those events, not all of the animals are out. I would argue the majority of them aren't. But for Sip and Stroll, it's just the zoo at night. So it's the zoo at night. You get all the exhibits are open, and which is basically what we want. I love that I use my my little pixel art version of myself.
Oh, I love it.
Because this was before the days of billboards. So this is very old footage from pre-Southeast Asia when we had billboards. So I was doing my murals. And I know realistically I would probably, in modern day, probably fix them up. But like I honestly like how there's some level of charm in the difficulty of doing custom murals and stuff, so
there really is, and like that's one of the things I love about like Bro Nation builds and stuff is like
they make
you
stuff
can
harder
do
on
something
than they need to.
Yeah, you can make it harder on yourself, but there's like a specific level of detail that you're able to achieve with like small pieces that you can't really get with billboards.
That's
and
true.
I know it seems kind of like counterintuitive to do more with less. But they still really do come out really well.
Yeah, exactly. Because I really like doing these pixel art things. Like in modern day, like I'd probably just be like, oh, just make a billboard and call it a day. Because you can definitely get better artwork in like Photoshop or something than manually trying to make pixel art. But like I said, there is a level of charm with these things. So I do kind of like that. I made I used one of the old World of Adaptations things as a base, and then basically just kind of modified it. I made this kind of like abstract jungle bush.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
And then eventually I work in the some of the actual signage, and then or like the little like leaf signs. Hey, look, it's your logo.
Oh my god!
Some of the other stuff, but. Yeah, back to Sip and Stroll. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
I loved it. I got pretty sloppy at it.
You were definitely a bit more drunk than the rest of us.
Oh yeah.
Literally, so Julie and I were Julie had work a little bit later, so we ended up at the event slightly later than them, like probably like an hour or so later. So they were like almost done with the zoo. So probably for a good 20 minutes we were just chasing Leaf and his girlfriend around the zoo, like trying to look for them. We'd be at the elephants, and they're like, "We're at Faces." We run to Faces. We're at the Toucan. Run to the Toucan. Oh, we just finished our circuit. We'll loop back around to find you. Eventually, we found each other. We went through the rest of the zoo. It was pretty good. It was a good experience.
Helps that Roger Williams is a small zoo too.
That's true. Yeah, and then I impressed a lot of drunk adults with my zoo knowledge. They said, "Hey, do you work at the zoo?" And I'm like, "No, I just come here a lot because I knew all the zoo animals and had to tell them apart and stuff. Because obviously, if you're drunk, you're not even going to be able to tell what the animal is." So they were like that couple that I was talking about at the Moon Bears. They were like, "Oh my God, who has them around here? Are they in like Coventry or Exeter, or like, which is like the wooded parts?" Because they thought they were like American black bears, like, which frankly we don't get around here anyway. Like, I would say we get one American black bear that strolls through from like Maine or something once a year, and then it's just in some guy's backyard, and then like it'll just go back to Connecticut or Mass or anything, like any other place, because I would definitely say we don't really have a strong black bear population around here. But no matter what, I'm just like, well, those are Asian black bears, so whatever. But you can't correct anyone. It's the same thing. Like a lot of people being like, "Oh, those aren't camels. Those are Bactrians," because the sign says Bactrian, but it says Bactrian camel.
There was so much of that going on yesterday. I think like. Oh, no. I don't even know. I forgot where I was going with that. I'm doing great today. I'm still a little boozy from the sip and stroll, I'll admit.
Yeah, because, like, I really wish, and if Roger Williams is listening, consider making a adult-only member pass. I know this is a little controversial, but let's say they plan on doing 3 or 4 sip and strolls throughout the season, right? Make some kind of $60 pass, maybe even $70. Let's do this. Make a $100 pass, and it comes with unlimited access for an adult to come to to every sip and stroll event throughout the season with a free drink voucher.
I'd be on board.
I think that sounds 5 of those. Yeah, like that sounds like a good deal. Where it's like, okay, like. Because I think it's $25 a person, and there's I want to say there's 2 or 3 a season. So you'd be saving money either way. Because then drinks are actually I will actually say their drink prices impressed me. They actually were pretty reasonable for what they were.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Emily didn't really like it, but I don't know. The drinks were strong. That's all I was able to get drunk at the. I got my drinks around, like, the cheetah exhibit, right?
Okay, yeah.
I was drunk. I was already drunk by the Red River Hogs. Like, that's how quickly they were able to get me.
I was the right level of tipsy. I was like, you were definitely up there. You were zooted.
Yeah.
But
emphasis on the zoo.
Yeah, you were very zooted. But yeah, I don't know, like, because I'm not a beer drinker either, so, like, I know Brew at the Zoo is next month, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll go, but I'm not a beer drinker, so for me, I was like, okay, well, this does seem like the better of the 2 options. I love when I used to do gradients like this. This is, like, such a nice little...
It looks so nice.
Yeah, I know we keep getting distracted, but yeah, like, Brew at the Zoo, like, for me, I'm not a beer drinker or anything, so... It's not as appealing, but I don't know. I might still go for the sake of, again, going to the zoo at night. Like I
think it's sold out.
Is it really? Well,
yeah.
I'll have to see because I know the VIP tickets were sold out. I don't know if the actual event is for like general or like I know they have the designated driver tickets are a little bit cheaper. They're like $25 a person, which again, frankly, is what I'd want. I just want to go to the zoo at night because it's nicer, no kids. They had live music, which was good. You got to go to the little animal encounter things.
Yeah, I was able to get to like a bunch of animal encounters. I still need to send you the pictures for all of them, but they had turtles and tortoises. I was able to hold a cockroach, like a Madagascar hissing cockroach. It was pretty cool.
That's cool.
They had like a rat that was out there. They had the tiger salamander, milk frog.
Yeah, so you actually, you had quite a bit of animals.
Yeah.
I was like, our experience was waiting in lines, running around to find you guys, and occasionally seeing Harley Quinn or a Spider-Man walk by, and everyone's everyone's probably like, what are you talking about? Rhode Island Comic-Con came by, which at first I thought that meant there was going to be like a booth for Rhode Island Comic-Con at the event. No, it was just a bunch of random people who just dressed in their Comic-Con cosplays, just walking around.
I mean, power to them. Like, hey,
yeah,
I could never dress up like Spider-Man in public, but if you can, go for it. Yeah.
The only thing that broke my immersion was I saw Kylo Ren take his helmet off, and it was just playing. He was feeding the goats. It was really weird.
I saw the stormtrooper go to the bathroom. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, like that is what I love about like Comic-Con events. Is just like people just going to like random places and then just be like, well, this is a little off-brand for your character, but okay.
Y'all, I gotta say, I love, like, as much as I hate faces, I just love the species list in here, because we just get, I know it's like kind of the same thing as the old tropical house, but agoutis and tamanduas are some of my, they're grown to be some of my favorites.
I do like the giant otters too, and I have always spoken on behalf of howler monkeys are way cooler than any other monkey species we've ever had at the zoo.
Oh my god, they're so beautiful too.
I love howler monkeys. So like I never had an issue with the species upgrades. I just think that, at least in my opinion, it would have been significantly cheaper renovating the old building. Like you could have done done renovations and an expansion on the old building to add a little glass area or something for new habitats, than tearing down the entire like complex that used to be like the kangaroo area just to build a new building and then keep the old one just vacant. Like it just doesn't make a lot of sense to keep it open if you're not going to do anything with the old building other than keep it as a backstage area for the anteaters. Because now it's just an extra warehouse for them to keep some stuff in. Like,
and it just makes me so sad, and like, I don't know. You heard me mope about this all yesterday, just like crying near the polar bear exhibit too. But we lost out on like so many cool exhibits.
Yeah.
That, like, why aren't we doing anything with it? You know, like the whole tropical house, that is beautiful infrastructure inside there. We were just looking at pictures from like the other day, and like it's probably still pretty good in there.
Or the Madagascar area was like another thing where it's like way back in the day we had a big Madagascar area at the zoo which had 5 frankly rare lemurs. None of them were ringtails, which is I don't think any zoo can say that anymore. Like, you have a lemur exhibit without sophakas or ringtail lemurs, and we had 5 of them. We had, okay, off the top of my head, we had black lemur, black and white ruffed, red ruffed, mongoose, and, oh god, what's the last one? Collared, I think?
Sure.
I think that's it. So we had some like rare species of lemur, and then now it's just an empty lot. There's nothing in it. Nope. There's the snowy owl, and that's it. The porcupine's gone now, so we don't even have that. I guess the plan is to eventually, turn that area into a better gibbon habitat, which I'm all for, because the gibbon habitat is like just, it's not the best anymore, at least, but.
What would they do with the current gibbon habitat?
Tear it down.
Oh.
That's it. That's
great.
Like, that is my only issue with the master plan is it's just, let's tear down the old habitat and then just build a new habitat and then do nothing with the old one.
I mean, they'll keep the AZA happy, I guess, but like...
It's just,
what does that add?
Nothing. I think they're just going to turn it into a glorified cut-through so that you can get to the eagles faster. I think that is literally the only thing they're doing.
You know what? Thank God we have a quicker way to get to the worst exhibit, honestly.
I like the eagle exhibit. It's not polar bears. You know my opinion on polar bears, and that's always going to be a thing. But I like the eagle habitat for what it is. It is actually, like, it is probably, and I think I can say this with a straight face, the nicest eagle habitat in the world.
Oh, 100% without a doubt. I'm just
mostly because I don't think any other zoo would think, hey, we have an empty polar bear habitat, let's put some eagles in it. But it is definitely a really, really nice looking eagle habitat. It's the largest area you'd ever probably see in any bird habitat, and it's well themed because you obviously have that nice rock work from the bears, and yeah, it's got a nice little waterfall.
The theming doesn't carry through though, like down to the bison, down to like the pronghorn. Like the theming just doesn't follow through with them, and that's just kind of sad. Like at least, I don't know. I feel like North American areas are really underrated because I don't know. It's just such really cool biodiversity.
I'm thinking
it's never framed well.
My argument though, because as a little bit of a rebuttal to like kind of defend the zoo here. The master plan does have them overhauling all of North America. Like, the master plan basically took the original master plan idea for the polar bear habitat and just reworked it to make it fit the modern day a little bit.
All right.
So they're like, listen, we're not going to have polar bears. That's just not going to happen. It's unpractical. Even that state-of-the-art polar bear habitat we were going to have, by modern standards, would not have been big enough. Because, like, it was basically... It was 9 times bigger than the original habitat, but it would still be probably 3-4 times smaller than it's supposed to be in modern metrics. So it's kind of a situation where we are getting grizzly bears there, which are probably the next best thing. And so I'll defend that. And it's basically the exact same habitat layout from what I can tell as the polar bear plan. So anyone who is like, I wish we could see this come to fruition, it'll be that. It, you know, if and when we ever get them. But, like, It should be that. We're going to get gray wolves, so I'm sure the wolf habitat, which I know a lot of people, myself included, have gripes about, will probably get some kind of makeover, whether it's just trimming them or, like, adding a little bit of nicer fencing or something. It'll probably have some kind of overhaul. And then, obviously, they're going to have to totally strip out the bison habitat to make room for the moose, which moose have specific needs, like water and different types of foliage and stuff. And so, from what I can tell, they're going to be adding, like, a river through that habitat that's going to... Like, basically, the plan, from what I can tell, I'll pull up a picture, is going to be the eagle habitat goes down from a waterfall, cuts through the grizzly bear habitat through a river, then the pathway where it is currently is going to become a bridge, and then the river is going to run underneath the bridge, connecting into the moose habitat, and that's going to feed a river into the actual main lake of the zoo. So it's going to be like one consistent stream that runs from the top of the mountain all the way down to the lake. Which
and
is
that would
cool.
honestly take, like, my favorite area, which I would probably say is... I would say... World of Adaptations is, like, my absolute favorite area currently. That would just blow World of Adaptations out of the water. Just having that consistent theming, having that, like, follow through with the river and stuff, that would make that easily the best area. I don't know. Exactly. I just really like the idea of that.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool idea. And, yeah, I mean... there's not too much to say about this build. Like, as you can see, this is all redundant, what I'm doing, because I'm adding a really convoluted chain link to the top of the tamandua habitat. I love how we went on this whole, like, North American tangent, even though we're in the South America building.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, frankly, I don't even care. We have plenty of time to talk about South America in the next few episodes, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because we have the whole anteater and flamingo and stuff we got to do.
But we got to go near the entrance first for the big backyard.
That's true. You are the host of the next episode. It'll be on my channel, but you are the host. It'll be
how exciting.
For all intents and purposes. It'll be a leaf video because that is the first thing that I have just not touched at all in this. Well, actually, that's not true. I let Haribo do the administration building, so shout out to Haribo. Go subscribe to him. But yeah, past that is the first time that, you know, it'll just be an entire area I haven't touched. So that is, I'm very excited. You did an awesome job from what I've seen. So I'm sure everyone else is going to love it as well.
There were a few liberties I had to take, for instance, like, we'll actually get to that.
Yeah, we'll go over it. Because, yeah, obviously there's some things that, yeah, just can't be practically done. But we're coming up on the end of today's video, so I want to thank you all for watching as always. Go subscribe to Leaf, I'll have a link in the description. And as always, I will have a link to all of the mods that are going to be featured in this video. So that is going to include the Hyacinth Macaw, the Red-Footed Tortoise, the Tamandua by Jen, so shout out to Jen, she did an awesome job with the Tamandua.
Hell yeah.
The Toucan, which I'll probably add to the Macaw pack. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do. And the Agoutis, which is a kind of partnership mod between you and I. So that'll be up by the time this goes out. So thank you all for watching, and enjoy all of the wonderful animals. So thank you all, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.